let's kickstart the show then. And Shreyansi, while implied open is indicating a green, we can't say the same about US because NASDAQ heavily under pressure. Tell us what happened.
Well, absolutely. So it's everything but the Dow that really just did not manage to hold on all that well. So when you take a look at futures, that's also the kind of picture that you're seeing, because you do have Dow futures that are just marginally higher, S&P 500 as well as NASDAQ futures not doing anything at all. And Dow was bucking the trend in the regular day trading session as well, like I mentioned. So when you take a look at Dow Jones, that added about 31 points, or about 0.1% thereabout. And on the other side, you did have the S&P 500 as well as NASDAQ just not having a good day at all, especially in NASDAQ, because you did see NASDAQ shedding 1% for its worst day since April, as investors really rotated out of semiconductors. You did have tech darling Nvidia also sinking nearly 7%, building on a 4% decline from last week. So that's the kind of move that we saw for those stocks, and not just Nvidia. You've got Qualcomm, you've got Super Microcomputer as well as Broadcom that saw declines as well. So that largely was the picture when it comes to the indices. Of course, you did have the S&P 500 that also dropped about 0.3% thereabout, and only Dow Jones bucking the trend there. Let's also take a look at data that's on deck, because you've got consumer confidence for June, the Richmond Fed Index, and home price data that are also on deck ahead of Friday's personal consumption expenditures price index as well. So those are the data sets that we're looking out for. In terms of earnings, then you do have FedEx as well as Carnival earnings. So those would be in focus, but the tech story wasn't just relevant just when it comes to the Wall Street, because when you take a look at European indices as well, the tech part of the European indices was the one that fell about 0.7% thereabout. And when you take a look at banks or just all of the other most sectors, they were trading in the green when it comes to the stock 600. And when you take a look at DAX as well, you're seeing an uptick coming in of about 0.9% thereabout. So that was largely the handover coming in from Europe as well as Wall Street. But Snehi, does look like Israel and Lebanon tensions simmering really do have an impact on oil at this point, because that uptick is quite there. Right?
Absolutely, uptick quiet there. Oil prices have receded after that uptick settled a little bit. But well, yes, like Shreyansi mentioned, yesterday 1% higher is where oil was on the back of some geopolitical tension. Let's also take a look at more that's been happening in the world of oil and crude.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.